Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Senate Judiciary Committee meeting of March 5th, 2024. I would like to apologize to everyone. We are a little late coming down. Usually that does not happen, but I apologize for members of the public that are here waiting for us. So today, I would like to get a motion to go into executive session. So moved by Senator Gannon, seconded by Senator Chandley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. You all received a list of bills that we're going to exec today. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've been asked to hold. So the first one is Senate Bill 426, and we're going to hold that till next week. Senate Bill 569, we're going to hold that one as well. Senate Bill 573, we're going to hold that one. And Senate Bill 576. Everything else on the list, hopefully we can get through today. The first bill that we have is Senate Bill 315, and I would like to move ought to pass.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Whitley. Senator Chandley, you have an amendment. Would you like to present the amendment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, please. I would move amendment 0848S.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to?
Yes, just briefly, because we have spoken about this amendment a fair amount, or spoken about this bill. This, I had very, very good meetings with the Attorney General's office and the Department of Safety to craft a bill that will require that law enforcement report under to the Department of Safety any crimes motivated in part by hate or bias, and then the Department of Safety will post on its website that information. I really thank all of the stakeholders for working on this bill together, and I think this is a very good product that we can move forward.
Okay, is there a motion on the amendment? Senator Chandley,
Yes.
would you move ought to pass? Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Whitley. Is there any discussion?
Just a quick
Senator
question.
Abbas?
Is this amendment a replace all?
Yes.
Thank you.
Senator Gannon?
Just a quick question for Senator Chandley. Just remind me of how we're going to know, or how a police officer is going to know what's in someone's head for when a hate crime exists, or they've had training to recognize this or something?
So that is defined in the RSAs, and in this amendment, it says, hate crime includes any offense where the officer develops a reasonable suspicion to believe that the crime was motivated in part by hate or bias toward race, color, religion, creed, national origin, ancestry, sexual orientation, sex, gender identity, disability, or any other protected characteristics identified in statute. And the officers are trained to recognize these motivate when they are working an investigation.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, we have a motion of ought to pass on amendment 0848S. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move ought to pass as amended.
Okay, Senator Whitley moves ought to pass as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Gannon. Is there any further discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move consent.
Okay, there's a motion for consent calendar, seconded by Senator Gannon. Is there any further discussion on the consent calendar motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Senator Chandley, would you like to take this out?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Next, we are going to Senate Bill 357, and I would make the motion of ought to pass.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Whitley. This is a bill that we actually had last year. It was House Bill 610. It died because we had attached another bill to it, but it came out of the bill, it came out of this body with full support. So we're trying again to see if we can get the House to take a look at this and hopefully pass it. Okay, is there, we have an ought to pass motion. Is there any discussion? Senator Abbas, do you have a comment?
No, I don't believe I'm going to be able to support any ought to pass on this one, but
Okay. Okay, Senator Whitley?
Yeah, so, Senator Abbas, there was an amendment that we had discussed. And I'm wondering would you be more supportive with that amendment?
I don't have it in front of me. My concern is that if someone's getting treated for some type of medical condition, and that, if that doctor is not willing to complete the paperwork to, I guess, articulate that they have a qualifying condition to be eligible for therapeutic cannabis, if that patient would then leave and go to another doctor, you now have two doctors managing the situation when perhaps they're the one primarily caring for them or dealing with their condition is recommending against it. So I feel that basically someone's forum shopping for medication and therapeutic treatment with this provision. That's how I read it. So I'm not supporting it as I'm not sure if your amendment addressed that.
It did. Matthew, do we have that amendment to 357? Okay, well, if the committee would entertain a committee amendment to address that concern, because I heard that concern and there was a amendment that I thought was moved forward, but if perhaps maybe we want to come back to this, take a break, and I'm going to have Senator Abbas look at this amendment.
Okay, committee will be in recess for 10 minutes. Okay. The committee will come out of recess. We have some potential language. Are you good with this, Senator Adams?
Yes.
So
Okay.
I would like to move as a committee amendment, and I'll read it for the record. So section 5 will now read, for the committee amendment, any other New Hampshire provider who is licensed to prescribe drugs to humans and who possesses an active registration from the United States Drug Enforcement Administration to prescribe controlled substances and who is primarily responsible for the patient's care related to his or her qualifying medical condition.
Okay, so that is the proposed amendment, committee amendment. Are there any comments or questions?
I'll second it if you need that.
Okay, it's been seconded by Senator Chandler. Senator Gannon?
Yeah, so my problem isn't so much with this bill or the amendment. Well, it is the bill. So we have a procedure in place right now where if someone goes to their doctor and they get the prescription to go to the therapeutic cannabis store, unlike general medicine where they'd say you're getting a certain dosage of something, we're sending someone off carte blanche where they do not have to, at that point, they can decide the strength of the medication they're getting. I've always wanted therapeutic cannabis to be treated like a real drug where the doctor prescribes an amount, where we're not prescribing a THC limit. It seems like we're not treating it like a real drug. So now we're just further expanding that problem that I don't think we've ever addressed. So I'll be voting against it for those reasons, not for the fact that we're expanding it, but that I see a problem with the underlying system.
Okay, thank you. Senator Abbas?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I share that same concern. And first of all, there is no prescription. They just make you have a qualifying condition, that's it. And then what happens is if the doctor is not allowed to make the recommendation of what the dose should be. Now, doctors may be saying something that's, in passing, so be it. The ATC has to honor whatever that is said, but it's not even in writing. So you're right, the whole system is very concerning how that's working. However, this doesn't solve that problem. That problem continues to exist, so maybe we address that in other legislation. But this, I think, what my concern was, is a patient forum shopping for a doctor willing to sign up the program. I thought the doctor treating the condition that qualifies them is the one that really should be doing this. This addresses that. So I want to thank my colleague for at least addressing my concern with this.
Okay, so we have a proposed committee amendment. We have an ought to pass motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, 4-1. The proposed committee amendment passes. Is there a motion on the underlying bill?
I move out to pass as amended.
Okay, Senator Whitley moves on to pass as amended. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Chandler. Is there any further discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, 4-1. Okay, Senator Whitley, since this is your bill, would you like to take it out?
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. Okay, next we are going to Senate Bill 416.
I move interim study.
Okay, we have a motion for. Second. Senator Whitley moves interim study, seconded by Senator Gannon. Is there any discussion on the interim study motion? Okay, seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, interim study. Senator Gannon, would you like to take this one out? Is there? Oh, okay. Is there a consent calendar motion?
So moved.
Okay. Senator Chanley moves consent. Is there Senator Gannon? Seconds. Is there any discussion on the consent calendar motion? Okay. Seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Senator Gannon, would you? Okay. Okay. Next we have Senate Bill 424.
I move out to pass.
Senator Whitley moves on to pass, seconded by Senator Chandler. Okay, is there any discussion on the ought to pass motion? Senator Whitley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just as a reminder, this is a language that was written with the Department of Corrections. This is what their policy is already, and they are interested in having that be in law for more clarity. is also recommended and in line with the work with the Council for State Government.
Okay, is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 424? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move consent?
Okay, Senator Whitley moves consent, seconded by Senator Chandler. Is there any discussion on the consent calendar motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Senator Whitley, this is your bill. Would
Great.
you, okay. Okay, next, we have Senate Bill 503, and I would like to move on to pass.
Second?
Seconded by Senator Whitley. First of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Mobley for getting us all the information that we asked for. Really appreciate that. It made it much easier to understand, and hopefully we'll be able to move that. So we do have an ought to pass motion that's been seconded. Is there any discussion on the ought to pass motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Move consent?
Okay, Senator Whitley moves consent, seconded by Senator Chandler.
Oh,
Wasn't there an amendment to this?
yes, I just thought of. I apologize.
Make a motion for reconsideration?
Okay, we have to roll this back a bit
Yes,
then.
so I would make a motion to reconsider. Do we have to do the consent and the underlying motion?
No, because we didn't vote on the consent. We have to
Perfect.
do the underlying motion.
So I would
Okay,
move
this
reconsideration
is-
on the underlying motion. Apologies.
503.
Second.
Okay. So we are going to reconsider our vote on Senate Bill 503. I don't have it. Oh, I see one. Okay. Senator, you're right, Senator Waters. It's down in the bottom. Okay, so we're going to start over again here. I'll take a motion on Senate Bill 503.
We have to vote on reconsideration?
Oh, okay. Voting on reconsideration. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we're starting over again. Is there a motion on Senate Bill 503?
I move out to pass.
Okay, moved by Senator Whitley, seconded by Senator Chandler.
And I'd like to move amendment 0230S.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Chandler. The amendment, again, I think comes in part from Fish and Game. It improves the bill. And it was submitted to us at the time of the public hearing. Is there any discussion on amendment 0230S? Okay, seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I move out to pass as amended.
Okay, Senator Whitley moves up to pass as amended. Is there a second by Senator Gannon? Is there any further discussion on the bill as amended?
I apologize for not catching that amendment. Right there.
I didn't catch it either. Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move consent.
Okay, Senator Whitley moves consent. Is there a second by Senator Chandler? Is there any discussion on the consent calendar motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's see. Senator Abbott, would you like to do this one?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Let me do that. Okay, next we have Senate Bill 505, and I'd like to move ought to pass, seconded by Senator Gannon. This again is a bill that we did have last year. We had to make some concessions during the committee of conference on this particular issue. And we agreed to repeal the language after 1 year time. And all this bill does is it repeals the repeal and would leave the existing language in place in statute. Is there any discussion on Senate Bill 505? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move consent.
Okay, Senator Whitley moves consent, seconded by Senator Chandler. Is there a consent calendar motion comments? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, I'll take this one out. Okay, 505. Let's see, next we have Senate Bill 574. I'd like to move on to pass on Senate Bill 574. And we have a second. We also have an amendment, which I was told there was an amendment, but I haven't seen it. So what I'd like to do is perhaps we have the motion of ought to pass that we can just maybe do that at the end and maybe just take a few minutes.
Okay,
So,
sure.
because I don't have it,
Okay.
you know.
I will say, we can take, I think that works fine.
Oh,
And I
no,
will,
it's right here.
and I
Okay.
will mention that there are folks here who can speak to it if we have any questions for
Okay.
the OCA.
Well, why don't, I have this here, and I know I saw Lisa here. I think
Yep.
I saw her. There she is. Do you want to walk us through the amendment? Do you, fellow committee members, have this amendment? Do you, Senator Roberts?
I probably do, but I can't find it.
Matthew put it
If there's another copy
on the
somewhere.
table.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, I'll take another.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm wondering if we could invite Lisa from the OCA, to come up, if she wouldn't mind.
Okay, why don't you come on up, Lisa? Good to see you.
So should I introduce the amendment or not?
No, please
Okay.
introduce the
So,
amendment.
thank you. So I will move Amendment 0955S.
I'll second that.
Okay,
And as folks will recall from the public hearing, there was general support for this bill that would help folks who are traveling or otherwise indisposed appoint a temporary garden for a very limited period of time to their folks in their care, whether it's their children or an incapacitated adult. And there were some questions that were raised by folks from the OCA, and from others people. So we had a few meetings, and this is the amendment which was suggested, and I think it does, it allows a person to appoint a temporary guardian while putting enough guardrails and protections in place.
okay. Ms. Marcio?
Thank you. And we weren't involved in the original drafting of this bill, but we did testify at the hearing. Our concern was the original bill was very broad. Essentially, if there was a living and willing other parent, that parent sort of could veto the agency or take possession of the child. So we did do some brainstorming with Senator Chandler, and the coalition was also involved because our concern was just child protection, that if the non-appointing parent was not safe to be with the child, they shouldn't be allowed to either take the child or interfere with that appointment of the agent. So we came up with this language that really just sort of tries to capture all of the different manner in which that non-appointing parent may present a danger, capturing all the different type of protective orders, domestic violence, if they were under a DCYF investigation or part of a safety plan, or if they were under a law enforcement investigation that had to do with a crime against a child. Just to sort of make sure in that process that a child wasn't going to either be handed over to a parent that was not appropriate to parent them, or that parent couldn't stop that temporary appointment. So we are generally very supportive of this idea, just wanted to make sure that child protection piece was in there.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? Okay, thank you, Ms. Marcio. Okay, is everyone ready to vote? Okay, we have an ought to pass motion on amendment 0955S. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Get a motion on the underlying bill,
Move ought to pass as
A
amended.
second.
moved by Senator Chanley, seconded by Senator Whitley. Is there any discussion on the underlying bill? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move consent.
Okay, Senator Whitley
Second.
moves consent, seconded by Senator Chanley. Is there any further discussion on the consent calendar motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, Senator Chanley, would you like to take this up?
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay, and the last bill we are doing today is Senate Bill 578.
And then move ought to pass.
Okay, we have an ought to pass motion from Senator Whitley,
Second.
seconded by Senator Gannon. We also have an amendment.
So I move the latest amendment from Senator Prentice, which is 0849S.
Okay, so we have an ought to pass motion on amendment 0849S. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Chandler. Discussion on the amendment. Okay, seeing none. Is there, we have an ought to pass amendment on amendment 0849S. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
I
is
move
there-
ought to pass as amended.
Senator Whitley moves ought to pass as amended. I will second. Is there any discussion on the underlying bill? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay,
I move consent.
Senator Whitley moves consent, seconded by Senator Gannon. Is there any further discussion on the consent calendar motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I'll take this one too. I'll do this one, Matthew. Okay, seeing we have concluded all of our business today, can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Senator Gannon, seconded by Senator Chandler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We've concluded our business for today. Thank you all. Take care.
You are